NASCAR's K&N Pro Series West has come to beautiful Portland, Oregon. This is the Bi-Mart Salute to the Troops 125. Hi, folks. Mike Hogwood here, along with Phil Parsons. Glad to have you with us on what is a perfect day for racing. And with 6 races to go in the season, Phil, it's still Greg Pursley in the points.
What a dominating season. Almost a 300-point lead over Moses Smith.
To tell us about our pole sitter is Paul Bartholomew.
Well, he picks up his first road course pole in the NASCAR K&N Pro Series West, and the second pole of his career. It's Luis Martinez Jr. The King Taco Ford. Talk about your pole qualifying effort here this afternoon.
Yeah, yesterday in practice, we were kind of expecting the track to get a little hotter, a little greasier, and, we kind of just shot for, a good run today and kind of set the car up, hoping that it would tighten up a little bit today, and sure enough it did, and played right into our strategy. So, hopefully the race plays into our strategy as well, but, right now I'm glad to get the pole. The Sunrise guys deserve it. They've been working really hard this year, so trying to give them a really good finish also.
Great job by Luis Martinez. Let's take a look at the storylines, Mike. Fuel mileage is always critical on a road course. You start this race from lap 63, you get in your pit window, someone around 20 to 25 laps. You want to stay clean through turn number 1. A fast straightaway, and it really bottles up down in turn number 1. And our third storyline is to stay on the track. You stay on the racetrack, you're going to have a good finish.
And that is easier said than done. Our starting grid on the way. Welcome back to the Bi-Mart Salute to the Troops 125. You talked about it, Phil. This is a tough track.
It really is. It has a lot of high-speed corners as well as some mid-range corners, and that really, really slow turn number 1. Just almost 2 miles, paved road course. 30 cars will start this race, 63 laps.
And you see Luis Martinez and our points leader, Greg Pursley, on the front row.
David Mayhew, Eric Holmes back in row number 2. Remember at Infineon Raceway, they had an altercation on the last corner of the last lap.
You mentioned 30 cars in the field. It was scheduled for 28, but the promoter, Chris Evans, who is driving car 99 in this race, said, you know what, 30 cars show up, 30 cars are going to race today.
I think that's a great move.
Well, ready to go green. The green flag is out here at Portland, and we are underway.
Here's that turn 1. Already a bump between Pursley and Martinez. Martinez all over the track.
Look at Martinez just trying to hold on, and how about Pursley taking the shortcut?
Bit of a shortcut there, but there was definitely contact between Martinez and Pursley. Here's Ranger, the 35 car, getting by Eric Holmes into 4th.
And remember that Andrew Ranger, this is a road course racer. We've seen him win in this series on road courses. That's his specialty.
Yeah, really, really good Canadian champion. Won a lot of road course races there. Ran extremely well in nationwide road course races.
There's David Mayhew in that orange 17 car. He's shown a lot of talent this season, and not just in this series. I think he's going to be a contender today.
Oh, without a doubt. Great run, and Kevin Harvick struck a couple third-place finishes at Texas and Iowa for David Mayhew.
Great to see this series back in Portland. This is actually the 4th race on this track. 1986, Herschel McGriff won here, and they've been here the last 2 seasons.
And Herschel's in this field here.
83 years young. Herschel McGriff, who sets an age record for NASCAR every time he climbs in a car.
Incredible physical specimen, really, and Herschel can still get it done on the racetrack.
Interesting, he started alongside Jack Sellers, who's 67, just a youngster.
Oh, he did, just a kid. How about the battle for second? Pursley goes down to the inside of Mayhew to take over that second spot into turn number 1.
A lot of people talk about Greg Pursley and maybe the road courses being a chink in his armor. Not true. Boy, this year he has really run well in the road courses.
Well, he won earlier this year in Utah, and then he finished 4th at Infineon, so he's done a great job on the road courses.
Right now it is Luis Martinez, our pole sitter, out in front. Well, this would be a big day for him, and again, his crew chief is Bill Sedgwick, a veteran, not only as a crew chief, but as a driver in this series.
Second car is here as well with Derek Thorne in the 9 car for Ducati Racing.
And Derek Thorne has had some success. Think back to the shootout. He looked like he might have been the car to beat in that.
Yeah, sat on the pole there, ended up with a top 10 finish. Had a second place finish at Irwindale just a couple races ago for his career best here in the series.
Martinez has 1 start before today here at Portland. Finished 5th, so we know he can get his way around this race course. That was last year.
See if Pursley makes a move here down at the end of the long straightaway into one, just like he did to take over the second spot for Mayhew. He is inside of Martinez, but does not have position on the left-hander.
Boy, when you go to that left-hander, and unless you are really in a place to pass way up alongside, it is tough.
Yeah, you want to clear somebody. If you're going to make the move down into turn number one, you want to be able to clear him before you have to turn left at the kink.
You mentioned stay on course. So by far, all of our leaders have done exactly that. The top two qualifiers, Martinez and Pursley, running 1 and 2 right now.
Got a glimpse of Brandon Davis in the 10 car for a moment. Brandon had the pole at Infineon just a few races ago.
I'm going to mention Brandon Davis. Phil's another guy who is a great road course racer. I think he could be a real contender here today. A lot of our regulars are really good. Like a Pursley we were talking about. Luis Martinez doing a great job. Mayhew's very good. Mayhew had the last 2 poles here prior to this race. And then we have some ringers like Andrew Ranger. You know, in this series, it's interesting. Out of the 14 races, 3 of them are on road courses. So if you're going to win a title, you've got to be good on road courses.
Yeah, without a doubt. You have to have it all. You have to be good at the mile ovals like Phoenix, and you certainly have to be good on the short tracks as well. That's why Greg Pursley has been so good on all types of racetracks this year. And the other thing, Phil, is it enables these guys to build a road racing car, as we almost had a battle for the lead. Pursley wants to get that 26 out front. There's no doubt about it. He pulls inside of Martinez. He has position on him right now. Great side-by-side battle for the lead. Pursley has it. Does anybody have more confidence in Greg Pursley? He came in with almost a 300-point lead in the points. He's won 6 races already this year. His worst finish is 4th this year. That's incredible. I don't care what series. What an incredible year Greg Pursley has had. And, you know, he came in, he was really thinking he can win this race here. Qualified on the front row, and right now is out in front. That's where he wants to be. Talking to Greg, he just says everything has just come together. They've been together now a little bit over a year. Jerry Pitts is crew chief with Gene Price Motorsports. He said Gene gives us everything we need to compete, and it's just all clicking right now. It's almost like a dream. And he's got a young teammate, 16-year-old Dylan Kwasniewski, who qualified in the top 10 and is pretty much stayed there. I think biding his time a little bit. Yeah, 4 top 5 finishes this year for Kwasniewski as a 16-year-old. Amazing. Well, part of those were as a 15-year-old. Speaking of, he's in the 7th position where he qualified. That is Michael Self in the 21. He's had some good moments this year. Michael had a 4th place run, his career best this year at the Bull Ring in Las Vegas. Mayhew moves in on Martinez now, maybe to take a look for the 2nd spot. There's Andrew Ranger, the 35 car, running 4th. You know, the thing on a road course, Phil, it is not easy to pass. There are only a few places where you really can get around somebody. Yeah, I was talking to David Mayhew, and he said obviously turn 1 is the best passing zone at the end of that long straightaway into that tight right-hander. He said that is the best passing zone. He said, but there are a couple other passing zones. We saw Pursley make a pass in a corner, not turn number 1. Phil, these guys so used to ovals. What does it take to be a good road racer? I think good car control and good throttle control, and be able to, you know, use the brake and the gas at the same time, and then the shifting comes in. We've seen a lot of road course specialists come into the sport here recent years. They've done such a good job. People like Patrick Long and Andrew Ranger do a great job, but these people like Greg Pursley can get it done as well. We'll be back with more green flag racing from Portland right after this.